So this is really cool what's going on here. My friend had the idea. I'm streaming on Twitch. This is going to be a VOD for YouTube also, and also on Twitch. But my friend had this amazing idea to turn ChatGPT into like a text-based role-playing game. And I thought that was an amazing idea, and I thought it could be a ton of fun. So I spent a whole bunch of time making a prompt to put us back in the revolution. So it's going to go through a little prologue here with us, and it gives me a prompt which I'll read out to you in a minute. And we are going to play a military leader for the American Revolution, and we're going to get information every day from our aide, a character that I'm making ChatGPT play. His name is Ford, and built Ford Tough, and he is going to be giving us information, and then I'm going to be telling Ford, or ChatGPT rather, what I want to do. And that is going to really be the crux of this game. So I'm going to be commanding troops and maneuvering politically, all within this fantasy realm that is I've hopefully constructed, or at least instructed ChatGPT to construct, in as historical a manner as possible. I really tried to make it weight heavily the historical personalities and ambitions and decision-making skills of like the characters that existed at the time. I also gave it a safe word. If I ever feel like it's not going too well, I can just tell it pork and beans, and it'll take a sec to reset and think about going back to that time period, because it has a tendency to slip into modern day thought, which makes sense. It's an AI that has been fed modern day information. So we need to name our character, and my character is just going to be named No Colon, just for the ease of it. The background is very simple. We were a captain in the French and Indian War, and we have been invited to the First Continental Congress taking place September 5th, 1774. And the delegates from the 13 American colonies have gathered in Carpenter's Hall in Philadelphia for the first meeting of the Continental Congress. The air is filled with tension and uncertainty as they discuss the pressing issue of how to respond to England's oppressive measures and whether they should openly make war. Ford, your trusted aide, stands by your side as you await the commencement of the meeting. He clears his throat, breaking the silence between you, saying, "Sir, as we stand on the precipice of history, the decisions made in this room will shape the destiny of our nation. It is vital that we navigate these treacherous waters with caution and resolve." He hands me a stack of documents containing names and backgrounds of the delegates present, including those who have publicly expressed interest in commanding the Continental Army. Here's the list of delegates and their potential qualifications for leading the army. We should be well prepared for any discussions that arise. And just as I begin to peruse the documents, the doors to the hall swing open, and the delegates take their seats. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation, as they know that the future of the colonies hang in the balance. Ford whispers, "Sir, let us observe the proceedings closely. It is essential to gauge the personalities and ambitions of those who will play crucial roles in the days to come." Discussions are heated, with varying opinions on how to approach the looming conflict with England. Some argue for peaceful resolutions, while others demand more assertive action. The name of George Washington comes up multiple times, and it becomes evident that he is the favored candidate for the leading Continental Army. As the debates intensify, Ford discreetly provides you with some more information about the key players, their affiliations, and any potential alliances they may form. "Sir, it appears that John Adams and Samuel Adams are strong proponents of independence, and their influence may sway the decisions made today." As the meeting progresses, you're asked to introduce yourself and state your qualifications for the position of military leader. It's an opportunity to make a lasting impression on the delegates and to showcase your experience as a captain in the French and Indian War. After the day's discussions, you return to your quarters with Ford, who hands you a daily correspondence containing a summary of the events, discussions, and the prevailing sentiment in the room. "Here's your record of today's meeting, sir. I have also included some thoughts on how you might best navigate these political waters. Remember, every move we make will have far-reaching consequences." Daily Correspondence, September 5th, 1774. In today's meeting of the Continental Congress, the delegates engaged in passionate debates over the best course of action in the face of British oppression. The sentiment for open war with England is growing, and the idea of independence is gaining traction, primarily championed by John Adams and Samuel Adams. George Washington's name has been consistently mentioned as the preferred candidate to lead the Continental Army. Your experience as captain in the French and Indian War will undoubtedly bolster your candidacy. It is crucial to monitor the actions and alliances forming among the delegates, as this will impact the decisions they make in the days to come. Be prepared for further discussions on military strategy and preparations. Stay vigilant, sir, and be ready to adapt to the ever-changing political landscape. To be continued. So, now I get to respond in some fashion, talk about my qualifications, and move on, tell us to move on to the next day. So let's go in here. Thank you for all the information, Ford. These are truly treacherous waters we find ourselves in. Though it would be a great boon to my prestige to take command of the Continental Army. I feel that my duties, or rather that my skills and experience may be better suited to a lower ranking role, or as a militia commander, where I will not be burdened by the rules of a gentlemanly war. Mr. Washington is undoubtedly a good choice for the position. And it is very likely that he will be chosen for it. I only hope that all the candidates and our new Congress possess the wisdom to lead us through this trying time. We will have to see what the coming days bring to us. Alright, so clearly there's some issues with AI, right? It took that as a letter to Ford rather than me speaking to him. So I can let me tell the AI that in the future I just want it to act as if I'm speaking directly to Ford. In the future, Okay, so I should obviously have some goals for what I would like to accomplish during this Continental Congress. Um, my goals as Captain No Colon of New Jersey during this Congress will be to develop relations with Misters John Adams and George Washington. I am a proponent of independence from England, and I wish to have a personal hand in seeing that end realized. If I am provided with any opportunities to speak with these gentlemen in private, I would like to do so. And in parentheses for the AI, just so, and roleplay our conversations, keeping their characters as historically accurate as possible. It may get a little tedious to keep reminding the AI. Okay, so it picked up on that pretty well. Okay, but it may be a little tedious to keep reminding the AI to stay to character or whatnot. Oh, it's not letting me say what I want to say. Okay, so that'll be something else to address in the AI. It's just going off of the very basics of what I said. So it's telling us, okay, so over the next few days, from September 6th to 7th, I attend various sessions of the Congress, engage in discussions, and observe dynamics between delegates. I'm a representative of New Jersey and a proponent of independence. I find common ground with many individuals. During breaks, I seize opportunity to approach John Adams, who has become a prominent voice. And here's how our conversation unfolds. Me. Good day, Mr. Adams. I must commend you for your unwavering commitment to our cause. It is an honor to stand alongside individuals such as yourself in this fight for liberty. He says, thank you, Captain No Colon. The stakes are high and we cannot afford to falter. Independence is within our grasp, but it will require unity and sacrifice from all of us. If I could do a good Paul Giamatti voice for John Adams, I would, but I just can't. Then I respond, I wholeheartedly agree the colonies must join together. So this is just kind of us pontificating on the righteousness of our cause here for a little bit, talking about our dedication and whatnot. We continue the conversation, blah, blah, blah. John Adams acknowledges my military experience and values my insights into matters of war, which is great. George Washington also approaches and has given me considerable attention as a potential leader of the Continental Army, and I approach him respectfully after that. I tell him that his reputation precedes him. He says thank you, and he says that the weight of these times require us to set aside personal ambitions and unite for the greater cause. Fantastic. We kind of more pontification on our own values and the necessity to put aside personal matters in order to ascend and defeat this crisis that has arisen. So I solidify my connections with them, with influential figures in the Congress. As discussions intensify and plans begin to take shape, the formation of the Continental Army becomes a prominent topic, and the need for military leaders becomes increasingly apparent. Okay, so first let's tell the AI that I would like to roleplay the conversation. So, in the future, when I ask to have a conversation with a particular character or characters, I would like to do so manually, and you, ChatGPT, will temporarily take full take on the role of whomever I am speaking to. Additionally, the goals that I set for myself as captain, no colon, do not always need to be realized. If it makes more logical and historical sense based on the characters in the surrounding world, my goals to have setbacks, obstacles, or otherwise fail, then you must weigh those factors and move in a fashion that is as accurate as possible, given all the underlying factors. Let us please skip to the next major developments. If there is time for me once again to speak to General Washington alone, I would like to do so. Ford, if you could arrange a meeting for the two of us somewhere private or for a meal, I would be forever grateful. There are important matters I wish to discuss with him. Really, what I would like to do is I would like to ensure that George Washington is still the acting overall commander of the Continental Army. And once again, it's having me speak. It's speaking for me. Delving deeper into the strategies, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so once again, it is going through this whole, like, it is having the conversation for me. Let me see if I can coax it into a one-on-one conversation as General Washington. What I would ultimately like General Washington still to be the overall commanding general of the Continental Army. So that way the AI will likely have a better time performing in a more historically accurate way, and I'd like it to place me in a position of lesser power, but nonetheless a position where I can carry some weight and influence, and also make things interesting. So captain is a good rank for that. There are a few ranks higher. Even a low level general would probably be very interesting and cool. So let me just say, hopefully that helps. Now, let me just General Washington. I want to be as specific as possible with the AI. So mostly the conversations that it's generating are mostly just non-specific pontification on our values. Nothing specific as of yet. Perfect. Okay, this is a little better. I believe that you are the proper candidate to lead this army, and I will address the Congress if given the opportunity tomorrow to do so, stating that I will draw my candidacy for that role and endorse you instead. This military conflict we are about to embark on will likely involve many defeats that I do not know I can bear the brunt of. Your tactical wit precedes you. I am confident that you will be able to brunt the force of early defeats. And endure to a lasting victory. I only hope to wield even a little finger on the fist that brings down that brings freedom to our young country. Deeply honored by my endorsement and confidence in his abilities. Your selflessness and dedication to our cause are admirable. I understand your concerns about the challenges that lie ahead and the potential for early setbacks. Let us remember that it is through adversity that true character is forged. While victories and defeats are inevitable in any conflict, it is our resilience, unity, and unwavering commitment. Thank you for your selflessness. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss, or any concerns you'd like to address, Captain? No, sir. I just felt that I should both inform and warn you of my intentions before doing so. I will see you tomorrow, and I wish you all the best in the upcoming strife that we hold. And just upcoming strife. And I think it's going to be necessary to continue to give instruction to the AI. So all these things in parentheses will just be me instructing the AI in some fashion. So I just thought I should inform, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm going to tell the AI, please. I'm going to try to give the AI a little more leeway here. Please skip us forward to whichever development occurs next in this first person narrative, allowing me to speak for Captain O'Colin. Allowing only me So this, I think, could either go one of two ways. Either it's going to stop every single time that Captain No Cole and I would have a conversation, or it will pick up and listen. It can be finicky. Okay, the day of the Continental Congress has... Now we're in June 15th, 1775. Okay, so the day of the actual, real, legit Continental Congress is here. And I step into the Assembly Hall with tense with anticipation. Delegates from various colonies are engaged in hushed conversations, contemplating the crucial decisions that lie ahead. The time for you to address Congress arrives, and all eyes turn to you as you stand before the gathered delegates. Okay, see, it's not letting me talk for myself. That's fine. We'll see what happens. I already told it what I was going to announce. So let's see how it words things for me. Esteemed members of Congress, I stand before you today to express a crucial decision that I have reached. It is with deep conviction and a profound belief in the future of our young nation that I choose to withdraw my candidacy for the role of leading the Continental Army. A murmur of surprise ripples through the room, and all eyes now fixate on you, eager to hear the reason behind your decision. I have had the privilege of meeting and conversing with General Washington, and it is with great admiration that I endorse him for this esteemed position. His experience, strategic acumen, and unwavering dedication to our cause make him the ideal candidate to lead us through the trials that lie ahead. I pause for a moment, allowing the significance of my words to sink in. The delegates exchange glances, recognizing the weight of your endorsement. As we embark on this arduous path towards independence, we must unite behind a leader who possesses the strength and fortitude to weather the storms that will surely come. General Washington embodies the qualities we seek in a commander, and I am confident that under his leadership, our efforts will be guided with wisdom and resolve. The room falls into silence. Delegates absorb the gravity of our words and the impact that this will have on proceedings. The path forward is being reshaped, influenced by my decision. I always want to put these in parentheses, I think. Continue to next. Plot point. Captain No colon. I might just want to copy and paste that because I feel like it's going to come up a lot. Let me add a couple more. Objectives. I, Captain No colon, would still pursue a position of leadership within the Army, though I do not wish to lead it as a whole. If General Washington sees fit, I would be happy to accept any appointment he believes I am most equipped for. Please continue our narrative role play. And keep in mind that you are to present decisions and events like that of a game master for a RPG role-playing game, allowing me to make decisions and speak for Captain No colon. Okay. I knew that there was going to be issues coming along with this, so let's see how it goes. Significant progress. We're now July 3rd, so we skipped ahead a month. Received a message from Ford informing us that General Washington has requested a meeting with you at his headquarters in Cambridge. Once again, it's not letting us talk for ourselves. So, I mean, there's going to be... I think this is a really cool idea. There's definitely going to need to be some playing around to make sure that, you know, it lets us talk for ourselves at some point. I'm sure it has to do with the initial prompt. Upon arriving at General Washington's headquarters, you are greeted by his aides and escorted to a private chamber where Washington awaits. Captain No Colon, I appreciate your endorsement and your unwavering commitment to our cause. He says that a lot. Your dedication has not gone unnoticed, and I believe there is a place for your leadership within the Continental Army. It is an honor to have your recognition. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Skills and expertise, given your background and knowledge, I believe you would be well suited for a role as a militia commander. Your familiarity with the New Jersey region and your experience in the French Indian War will prove invaluable in organizing and training local militia units. Perfect. This is ironic because Washington hated the militia. Hated it. Like, with a burning, burning, burning passion. He hated the militia. He thought they were a bunch of drunks with no discipline and swore too much, and just they could come and go as they pleased because that's how militias worked and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, I'm happy. In this Fantasyland, General Washington respects militia, or he hates me, and this is like an undercut to my credibility. Apparently not. Apparently, as a militia commander, I will play a crucial role in rallying local support, training men, and coordinating with other military units. Your leadership will be instrumental in bolstering our forces. We discuss the specifics of responsibilities and tasks ahead. I'm actually going to have the AI elaborate on that a little more because I want to know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Grateful for the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Can you elaborate on the specifics? My responsibilities and tasks as the new leader, now a colonel, of the New Jersey State Militia. After elaborating as much as possible, please inform me which task General Washington wishes me to go about first. Now I'm Colonel No Colon. Ironic, because colons don't do well with colonels. Newly appointed leader of the New Jersey State Militia, your responsibilities are vital to the defense and organizations. Okay, so I'm responsible for these 4 things. Organizing and training, which is my primary duty, is to organize and train local militias within New Jersey. This involves recruiting able-bodied men, assessing their skills, and providing them with basic training. I need to coordinate with other units, so I'm going to have Ford establish a connection between whichever regular units will be within New Jersey. I need to build local support, and I need to defend the colony, now a state. Okay, this involves setting up defensive position, conducting patrols, and coordinating with neighboring militias to safeguard strategic reasons. Responding swiftly to any threats or intelligence of British movements will be vital to preserve these responsibilities in mind. Washington wishes you prioritize the task of organizing and training the local militia units. He emphasizes the urgency of this matter, as a strong and capable militia will significantly contribute to the overall strength of the Continental Army. General Washington believes that by establishing disciplined and well-trained units, he will be laying a solid foundation for the defense of New Jersey. Okay, now it's up to me. What do I want to do? I need to organize and train units first. So I'll thank General Washington for this responsibility. And take Ford and ride. Where are we exactly? This just says July 3rd. I imagine we're in Virginia, where Washington is still based through his home. July 3rd. No, it's a Continental Congress. So we're in Philadelphia. And ride north to the Morristown area. Okay, so the first things first. There we will begin first by finding the most pro-independence leaders of the the area. I would like to convene with them and discuss the importance of organizing an effective militia. I will place the ever-capable, now Lieutenant Ford, in charge of rallying and signing volunteers for this militia. I will encamp 20 miles a few miles outside of Morristown, near the town. I will personally run new recruits through firing drills and woodsmanship. It should be made clear to any man joining that our mission will be not only to defend New Jersey, but also to bring destruction to any English forces that we find. We will do so in an unconventional manner, with rifles, not muskets, and with small raiding forces, not large battle lines. How many men Ford is able to recruit? How the meeting takes. As to the meeting with the local leaders, I would like to roleplay this as Captain. Colonel No Colon. We will play the leaders scenario. Create up to 3 distinct characters as these leaders. Play them appropriately. Gotta say, I'm really having a blast doing this whole thing. Okay. July 5th, so we're 2 days later. We arrive to Morristown. He takes charge of rallying and signing up volunteers. He gets about 150 men. So we have 150 men under our command who are willing to take up arms. We'll have to work on getting more. And the leaders that we find are Thomas Edwards, Sarah Carter, not historically accurate, not a lot of female leaders back then, and John Anderson. Okay. not letting me RP. Ugh. Okay. You know, we'll work on it. In sport, they're going to build a force that strikes fear into the hearts of the British. Our militia will not adhere to conventional tactics, utilize our knowledge of the land, and employ small raiding forces armed with rifles, delivering swift and unexpected blows to the enemy. The meeting continues to discuss the logistics of training, recruitment, and coordination with other military units in the region. Okay, so let's tell the AI. I would like to put more effort into recruiting additional troops, militia. I do not wish to cause any strife with the leader of the New Jersey regulars. However, I believe that the men of New Jersey people of New Jersey would be more well suited and more useful to the cause as a common and ever-present nuisance to the English efforts in this land. Destroying supplies before they can be given to English soldiers will be more productive than making open war head to head with a fully supplied English soldiery. Please take us to the next narrative point. Remember, Ford is to provide me with daily correspondence, and I am to be allowed the option to make decisions and speak for Colonel No colon. See what happens next. Where we go. Now it just says July 1775, which we were already in. Okay, understanding. Okay, so we're focusing mostly on recon, marksmanship, and hit-and-run tactics, which is perfect. That's what we want. Ford provides you with daily correspondence, delivering reports on the progress of recruitment, the activities of your militia, and any relevant updates from the surrounding region. You remain informed of the broader developments in the Revolutionary War and decisions made by General Washington and the Continental Congress. You receive word that Washington has taken note of your effective guerrilla tactics and wishes to meet with you personally to discuss further strategies and coordination. Okay, so now I'm going to tell it. I would like to role play a specific combat encounter. Please have Ford provide me with intel on any form of likely English movement within New Jersey, and please allow me to make any and all decisions regarding the movements of my militia. Let's see if that works. Oh, the music stopped. Hold on. We'll get there eventually. Okay. Skip to the next chance for a combat encounter. And remember, this is roleplay. Give me opportunities to make decisions for myself and my militia. In this upcoming encounter, you will play Ford, who will provide me with some intel on English movement. We will also play the English forces that I will be maneuvering against. Okay, let's see how this goes. See what it'll do. It's a really cool concept, but the having to constantly remind the AI, I'm going to have to really tweak what's going on. Okay, so once again, I told it earlier not to address me as Ford via a letter, but here we go. Colonel No Colon, I've gathered valuable information regarding English forces in our vicinity. It appears that a small detachment of British troops led by Captain Charles Redmond has established a supply depot at a farmhouse located near the outskirts of Trenton. They're storing provisions and ammunition to support their operations in the region. Furthermore, reports suggest that Captain Redmond's unit is currently spread thin, with only approximately 50 soldiers stationed at the depot. They've been conducting regular patrols, but their presence remains relatively light. Presents us with an opportunity to strike at the English forces, disrupting their supply chain and weakening their control over the area. We can coordinate our militia forces and plan a surprise attack to seize the depot, hindering their operations and bolstering our own cause. The terrain around the farmhouse provides ample cover for forces to launch a successful assault. Additionally, there is a dense forest nearby that could serve as a staging area for our troops before the attack. Please let me know how you wish to proceed. Perfect. Hello, Ford. I've thought about the opportunity we have before us and wish to proceed in the following manner. We will take 150 of our militiamen. I wish to stage 75 of these men within the forest and have a further 25 perform light raiding and goading attacks on the depot. Those 25 men will feign a retreat and ideally lead at least a large portion of the enemy garrison out into the open where the 75 men staged in the forest can either destroy or capture them. Once we see that troops are leaving the garrison of the depot, our remaining 50 men who will be hiding away from conflict to the south of the area will sneak in and perform an perform either an armed raid to destroy the equipment there. However, I wish to restock and capture as much powder, ammunition, and small artillery as is possible for our troops to take. Okay. Sincerely, Colonel, no, colon. Please create this scenario as accurately as possible. If, for whatever reason, keep me as informed as possible on the outcome of this battle, including casualties, loot taken, captured, and our remaining rank as a militia at the conclusion of that event. Okay, so that was when? We're in September 1775, so this is officially before official independence has been made. Okay, according to this assault, the British flag shows careful consideration and tactical. Here's how the battle unfolds. Under cover of darkness, your militia force of 150 men marches toward the vicinity of the farmhouse. As I arrive, I deploy 75 men in a concealed position within the dense forest, ready to strike at the opportune moment. 25 men are assigned to perform light raiding and goading. Diversionary force skillfully executes hit-and-run tactics, harassing the British garrison and luring them out of the depot. The British soldiers, thinking they have the upper hand, pursue the raiding party, venturing further away from their fortified position. As planned, the remaining 50 men, who had been hidden in the south of the area, seize the opportunity and stealthily infiltrate the depot. They encounter minimal resistance, as the majority of British garrison has been drawn away. With the element of surprise on your side, your troops quickly secure the depot, beginning to gather valuable supplies, including powder, ammunition, and small artillery, intending to restock your forces and strengthen your position. British forces from the depot find themselves caught in a crossfire. The combined assault from the hidden forest militia and returning raiding party disorients and demoralizes the British forces. In the ensuing chaos, your men swiftly eliminate or capture a significant portion of the British garrison. The remaining British soldiers, outnumbered and outmaneuvered, surrender. At the end of the battle, you successfully secure the depot, capturing valuable supplies and equipment. The casualties on your side are minimal, with only a few wounded, while the British suffer significant losses and surrender. I will provide you with a detailed report on casualties, captured loot, and remaining strength of the militia once all information is gathered. Report. Okay, please show me the detailed report. Okay, so I think that unfortunately what will be happening much of the time is that it will just give us what we want based on what we say. So that could go a lot of different ways. Is there anything a little less high key that could be playing right now? Guarantee not. I guess colonial music was all just really high key. Oh well. Okay, so here's our after action report. We have 4 men wounded with no fatalities. We killed 12 and wounded 18 and captured 25 English soldiers. We have 300 pounds of powder, 500 rounds of ammunition, 40 muskets, 2 field cannons, and 4 swivel guns. Our remaining strength as a militia are 146 men, with available equipment of 95 muskets, 600 pounds of powder, 900 rounds of ammunition, and then the artillery that we have now captured. Resulted in significant gains for the American militia. The captured supplies will greatly enhance the militia's firepower and capability for future engagements. The relatively low number of casualties among the American side indicates a well-executed plan and effective coordination among the militia forces. The captured British soldiers can now be interrogated for valuable information. Okay, let's do that first. First, you need to draft a letter to General Washington. Successful raid on a depot in the outskirts, Trenton. I've included the pertinent information and details below. Do you require any of the artillery that we have captured? Please advise. I will arrange for its transfer. Then we'll include the information, casualties that we've captured, and our remaining strength. Yeah, we'll just go with remaining strength. Sincerely, no, : After drafting this letter, which will be sent post haste, I will oversee the interrogation of the highest ranking English soldier we have captured. Okay, we'll see. I'm pleased to hear of your successful raid on the British supply depot near Trenton. Your efforts have resulted in valuable gains for our cause. That should be one word. The captured supplies, particularly the powder, ammunition, artillery, will greatly enhance our capabilities moving forward. Please arrange for the transfer of captured artillery to our main force. The additional firepower will be instrumental in our future engagements. Ensure that the wounded militiamen receive proper medical care and attention. Their sacrifice is appreciated, and we must ensure their swift recovery. Regarding interrogation of the British soldier, proceed with caution. Extract any useful information that may aid us in our operations and strategies. Keep me informed of any significant findings. Continue to maintain the readiness and morale of your militia. Your leadership and tactical prowess are commendable. We shall persevere in our fight for liberty. Okay. Lieutenant Ford. It's time to interrogate English. Bring me the highest ranking British officer we have captured. Enters the room accompanied by a disheveled English officer. The officer, with a look of defiance, stands before me, who sits behind a desk. The room is dimly lit, creating an atmosphere of tension. Colonel Again, I thought I just told it I wanted to RP with it. Okay. Good day, Captain. I trust you're aware of the predicament you find yourself in. With a hint of arrogance, the English officer says, I'm fully aware of the situation, sir, but rest assured you will gain nothing from me. Smirking, I say, we'll see about that, Captain. You see, I have a proposition for you. Cooperation may be your best chance for survival and a more comfortable imprisonment. If you provide us with useful information, we may be inclined to treat you with a degree of leniency. Pausing for a moment, the English officer says, and what guarantee do I have that you will honor your word? Our honors as soldiers, Captain. We do not resort to treachery or deceit. If you provide valuable intelligence, we will take it into consideration when deciding your fate. He's hesitant, but he responds, very well. I will only divulge information that will not directly harm my comrades. Agreed. Now tell me about English troop movements in the region. Are there any reinforcements expected, or significant plans or strategies? Responses of additional troops being deployed in the region, anticipating a counteroffensive to regain control of key areas. Their objective is to quell the rebellion swiftly and decisively. Any details regarding the size and timing? I cannot provide specific numbers, but I do know that they are expected within the next few weeks. Their plan is to strike at the heart of the rebellion and sever its supply lines. The English will not be defeated so easily. We'll see about that. We'll see, Captain. Your defiance is admirable, but history is a way of unfolding in unexpected ways. You may find that the tide of fortune is turning. Leaving Colonel. Okay. Regarding size and timing. For the Captain, sort it out. Which strategic areas will be targets? Do you know of a time frame in which each or any of those targets will be attacked? English forces have identified several strategic targets in the region. They plan to focus their attacks on key towns and cities that have shown strong support for the rebel cause. Trenton and Princeton among the primary objectives. What about the time frame for these attacks? Are they imminent? The preparations are underway. Attacks will commence within the next few weeks, depending on the progression of their reinforcements. Thank you, Captain. Your cooperation will not go unnoticed. Rest assured, we will do everything in our power to prepare for their assaults. You have fulfilled your duty as a soldier, and now we must fulfill ours. Resumes his roles and escorts the English officer out of the room, leaving Colonel No Colon to contemplate. When Ford returns... in charge of... Ooh, that's not how you spell regular. Regular forces in New Jersey. Also, Ford. If you were an English commander planning an attack on Princeton and Trenton, where would you stage your troops before the offensive? General William Howe is in command of the regular forces in New Jersey, Colonel. Regarding your second question, if I were an English commander planning an attack on Princeton and Trenton, I'd likely stage my troops in the vicinity of New Brunswick. It is a strategic location that provides a central position from which to launch assaults on both towns. Additionally, New Brunswick offers good access to supply routes and potential reinforcement from nearby garrisons. However, it's important to note that it's purely speculative and based on general military considerations. Actual English plans may vary. We must remain vigilant and prepared of any eventuality. S. Ford. Have letters dispatched to both immediately. I foresee we will need the bulk of the Continental Army in order to repel this advance. I understand the Continental Army has suffered setbacks thus far, but as predicted, General Washington has mastered the art of the retreat. We have had minimal losses thanks to this tactic. Ford, I want you to also inform the men that we will be moving northeast into Pennsylvania temporarily. And crossing back into New Jersey at a position north of New Brunswick. North of Brunswick. From there, we will scout for English movements, and I want you to come back to me when we have discovered a reasonable pattern for their supply network there. That is, if they are as smart as you to stage their troops there before the attacks. If we can harass their supply lines leading up to their planned assault, then we may delay it long enough for General Washington and Howe to consolidate forces and counter the English play here. Not right now, Ford. Come back to me with an update when you have one. Let's move off to Pennsylvania and go get a strong position north of New Brunswick. Alright, let's tell it to fast forward. At which point, to the point at which Ford enters with an update, or if we are intercepted or otherwise set back in our travel to north of New Brunswick. Time passes. Militia under leadership of Colonel Nocolin marches towards Pennsylvania in the planned position north of New Brunswick. No major setbacks or interceptions occur. The journey proceeds relatively smoothly, with the troops maintaining discipline and morale. That's good. Ford does come back with an update, looking a bit weary from the journey. I've gathered some crucial information regarding the English supply network. It seems they have established a well-guarded and organized system, utilizing various routes to transport provisions and equipment to their forces. Ford lays out a map on the table, indicating the supply routes and key locations. Their main supply depots are located in Trenton, New Brunswick, and Princeton. Okay, but if they're attacking Trenton and Princeton, why would they have... Okay, hold on. Let me just ask the AI about this logical qualm. If they are planning to attack Princeton and Trenton, how can they already have supply depots there? Real Yankee Doodle dandy, this AI. Okay, thank you. The point of the attack, it is unlikely that they already have established supply depots. To clarify, based on my observations, English forces supply lines that connect their main base of operations to various smaller outposts throughout the region. Okay. It is likely English forces will be making preparations to establish temporary supply depots closer to their targets. These supply depots would be set up to support their troops during the upcoming attacks on Princeton and Trenton. Ford, I need you to dispatch a rider to General Howe, as he is the closer of the two regular colonial forces. I need him to advise on which is the greater priority of defense, Trenton or Princeton. Please take great haste in this measure. Also, Ford, can you please remind me of the date at this stage in our conflict? December 15th, 1776. We're in the midst of the critical winter campaign in New Jersey. The situation remains tense, and every decision and communication carries great significance. To the writer, sense with New Jersey, how we await his response. Ford, what was General Howe's response? Also, information has come in that English forces have... Okay, let's change the music to something a little more crappy. Sure. Okay. English forces have established presence in Trenton, I believe General Washington is planning a move there the next few weeks. Decision before us, pending General Howe. Advice is whether to commit our resources to support Washington or to stall the English in their pursuit. Princeton. From the rider sent to General Howe has not yet returned with a response. It seems that the distance and winter conditions may have delayed his arrival. Oh boy. In the meantime, I can provide you with the information that is coming regarding English forces establishing their presence in the next few weeks. Suggests that he deems it a crucial objective. Given this, it would be prudent to consider committing our resources to support Washington's efforts. And so it shall be. We shall commit. I do not think we can afford to wait for General Howe's response at this time. We will make our way through the roads and paths less traveled so as to sneak upon Trenton and perform a small raid quickly. Before they know, before they are the wiser. I want you to send a rider ahead. I want you to send 2 riders ahead of us to make sure that we are not intercepted. I want another rider to go to Trenton alone in civilian gear and have him deposit a letter of intent that I will write, rather that I will forge, signifying the intent of American forces to make an attack on Trenton. This may be seen as unwise, and I'm sure that it is for us. However, if our raid can be seen as the primary attack on Trenton, perhaps with some luck, the English forces there will be lulled into a false sense of security, and General Washington will have greater success there. I fear we do not have time or spare resources to inform General Washington of our move. Nevertheless, we must push on. Things are starting to get spicy. Dispatching riders as instructed. We'll go ahead. Well, this plan carries risk. The element of surprise may work in our favor. If the English forces in Trenton believe your raid to be the primary attack, it could divert their attention and resources away from General Washington. We hope that this diversion proves successful and allows... Okay, let's time skip. Please time skip to our staging area outside Trenton and include travel time in this. Ford will enter and inform me of the scouted positions and strength of English forces now within Trent. From there, I will make a decision on our plan of several days later, Colonel Mulcullen and his militia force have reached their staging area outside Trenton. Ford enters the command tent, ready to provide an update on the scouted positions and strength of the English forces in town. Our scouts have observed the position and strength of English forces in Trenton. As our latest intelligence, there are approximately 1,200 to 1,500 well-armed soldiers stationed in and around the town. The garrison is comprised of a mix of regulars and Hessian mercenaries. They have established defensive positions and have fortified key locations, such as the bridge crossing the Assunpink Creek. The enemy appears to be prepared for a potential attack, but they may not be expecting an assault from our direction. The element of surprise could still be on our side. However, I must caution that engaging such a significant force will carry significant risks. The success of our raid will depend on careful planning and coordination. Ford, what is our current strength? Have we recruited any new heads in the past couple months? Okay, so we have 146 men, facing roughly 10 times our number. Primary focus has been on training and preparations for our existing force remains disciplined and motivated. Provide me with landscape and patrol details to the best of your knowledge around our current staging area and the closest area of Trent. We should be positioned to the northeast of the town. This is pretty cool. I do have to say, this is very fun. Okay. Our current staging area is situated to the northeast of Trenton. The landscape in this region consists of a mix of open fields, farmland, and wooded areas. Several small streams and creeks crisscrossing the terrain, but no major bodies of water. The area is generally flat, with gentle rolling hills. Defensive perimeter around the town. They have positioned sentries and small patrols along the outskirts. Near key entry points and bridges, the patrols seem to be rotating periodically, maintaining a vigilant presence. Do we have a sense of the schedule at which these patrols are being switched? Particularly, patrols nearest the most traversable, I knew it was able, traversable creek to walk along. Pattern of click, although it may not be entirely precise, patrols closest to the most traversable creek, which runs along the western edge of Trenton, tend to be switched approximately every 4 to 6 hours. However, it is important to note that the timing and frequency of these rotations may vary based on circumstances and discretion of English commanders. Okay. I would like all of our men staged, ready to go. 20 minutes. We will enter the bed of the creek, walk along it so as not to make a trail leading back to our camp. We'll move carefully and stage a small skirmish to the northwest of the town, ideally bringing attention to us. We must make ourselves feel a larger force than the 146 we currently are. Every man will need discipline and steady hands. We can do this. Our main goal is to make as big a fuss as possible before we must retreat back up the creek to our camp. This way, it increases the likelihood no, that's wrong too. A little autocorrect. Likelihood. Increases the likelihood that the English forces view us as the main and failed attacking force on the town. Uh-oh. It appears that my roleplay has violated the rules of ChatGPT. We'll enter the bed of the creek. We'll move carefully and stage a small skirmish north of the town. I don't see how that is. I'd like to see what the content policy is for that, but okay. I'll submit that later. Understood. The men will be assembled and ready to move in 20 minutes. We'll proceed along the bed of the creek to minimize chaos. Once we reach the vicinity of Trenton, we will stage a small skirmish to the northwest of the town, creating the impression of a larger attacking force. Okay, so just saying what I said. Please inform me of any further instructions or details you wish to provide before we proceed. Let us proceed forward. Want our best guns to fire more rapidly, create the illusion of a larger and more skilled force. Okay, so if I say guns, is that bad? I think maybe it's because I said guns. Did I say guns in the other one too? Or is it just anything that I'm typing now is going to be... No, I did let us proceed. That one was fine. Okay. Form teams of men dedicated to reloading rifles for our best shots. This will allow us to maintain a continuous and rapid rate of fire. Personally oversee the coordination of these teams and ensure that our best marksmen are given priority. Let us commence the attack and execute our plan with precision. Battle. Commence the battle. Wish to take it through turns. Provide me with many details and allow me a chance to make a decision should any major developments occur. Open fire from concealed positions, creating chaos and confusion among British forces within Trenton. Crack of rifles and smoke of gunpowder fill the air as your men fire with precision and speed. Enemy forces scramble for cover, unsure of the size and strength of the attacking force. As firefight intensifies, British forces attempt to organize a response. They return fire, but your malicious, disciplined marksmanship begins to take its toll. Several British soldiers fall under the accurate and relentless volleys of your men. In the midst of battle, a major development occurs. A contingent is approaching from the south. They're moving quickly and appear to be intent on relieving the besieged garrison in Trenton. What would you like to do? I'd like to fire 3 more volleys. Instruct our soldiers to aim for the highest ranking English they can see. Following that, we will rapidly retreat to the creek and make haste for our camp. The creek will cover our tracks, so as long as we are not intercepted, we will likely not be followed. I want a small contingent of 20 men to begin the retreat first and take it in turns of 10 to establish a small vanguard force to cover the remaining men's retreat. The creek to the northeast. Again! Hey! I've done something to upset ChatGPT. Under your command, your militia forces fire 3 more volleys, concentrating their aim on the highest-ranking British officers they can spot. Find their marks, causing chaos and confusion among the enemy ranks. The loss of their leaders further disrupts the British response, throwing their formation into disarray. I give the order to retreat. We move. The small contingent of 20 men moves ahead, establishing a vanguard force to cover the retreat of the remaining. Retreat proceeds smoothly as your forces navigate through the creek, using its cover to conceal their movements. The vanguard force maintains a disciplined defense, fending off any attempts by the British to pursue or flank your retreating men. Eventually, we all reach the safety of camp, with the vanguard force covering the rear. The creek has effectively hidden your tracks, making it unlikely for the British to follow your retreat. The Battle of Trenton ends with a successful raid and a strategic withdrawal, leaving the British forces bewildered and uncertain. What would you like to do next? I would like to instruct the men to pack up, make moves, post haste to our former position to establish defensive positions. with teams of patrols alternating every 2 hours in a shuffled manner so that no two positions are changing at any one time. I will leave the captain in charge of this, and I will ride with Ford south Trenton to observe for any other American movement, possibly from General Washington. As Ritter rides up Trent, you make sure that a capable captain is left in charge of the camp and ongoing defense. The captain takes charge of maintaining order, coordinating patrols. Mounted on a horse, you and Ford make your way south of Trenton, keeping a watchful eye for any signs of movement or activity. The countryside appears calm, with no immediate indication of other American forces in the vicinity. The sun begins to set, casting a golden hue across the landscape. We will wait and recon further. I am confident that General Washington will be making an attack soon. I hope to intercept one of his runners or scouts so I may form the force of our successful feigned attack. Patiently wait and continue your reconnaissance. You remain vigilant for any signs of Washington's forces. Makes it challenging to spot any movement. However, you remain determined to intercept Washington's runners and scouts again. After a while, you spot a lone figure approaching on horseback. It appears to be a scout from General Washington's army. It's an opportunity to intercept and relay information. What would you like to do? Let's see. Do I know of any method of communication between colonials that I can use to identify myself without making myself a target if it is English? Giving a specific countersign or password that only fellow colonials would know. You quickly recall the current countersign being used by General Washington's army is liberty or death. If the approaching scout is indeed a fellow colonial, they should respond with the appropriate countersign. However, if the scout is an English soldier unknown, they may not be aware. With this plan in your mind, you prepare yourself to intercept this. I shout liberty or death. You wait a response from the approaching scout. A few tense moments pass where you hear a voice in the distance faintly echoing your words. The voice responds, "For liberty!" Relieved to have the correct response, you step forward to meet the scout, keeping a cautious eye on their movements. As they come closer, you recognize them as a fellow colonial soldier, a runner from Washington's army. The scout approaches you cautiously, and recognizing your rank as colonel. They salute and say, "Colonel, no colon. I bring word from General Washington. Our forces have successfully captured Trenton, and the enemy garrison has surrendered. We've secured a significant victory." You feel a surge of relief and joy upon hearing the news. General Washington's plan has succeeded, and the successful feigned attack on Trenton played a crucial role in luring the English forces away. You quickly express your gratitude to the scout and ask for any additional details or orders from General Washington. Consolidating forces in Trenton and plans to make further strategic moves. They also mention that a messenger will be dispatched to your location soon with a formal communication from Washington. Ford, let us return to camp. And hopefully, the Washington letter will be brief. As you arrive, you find the camp bustling with activity, soldiers celebrating the successful capture of Trenton. You enter your tent and find a sealed letter on your desk. It bears the official seal of General Washington. Break the seal and begin reading the letter. In the letter, General Washington expresses his appreciation for your strategic efforts in luring the enemy forces away from Trenton. He commends your bravery and resourcefulness, stating that your actions played a crucial role in the success of the operation. General Washington also outlines the next steps in the campaign, detailing his plans to further disrupt British supply lines and maintain pressure on the forces. He acknowledges the importance of your militia's contributions and expresses his confidence in your leadership. Furthermore, the letter informs you that reinforcements from the Continental Army will be sent to support your militia's efforts. Washington advises that you continue to operate in coordination with his forces, utilizing guerrilla tactics and striking at vulnerable enemy positions. Filled with a sense of purpose and determination, you discuss the contents of the letter with Ford. Together, you begin formulating plans to further disrupt the enemy's operations and support General Washington's strategy. As the night settles over the camp, you reflect on the recent events and the role your militia has played in the fight for independence. With renewed hope and a clear path forward, you prepare to face the challenges that lie ahead, knowing that the fight for liberty is far from over. Well, that was really fun. It's been almost 2 hours now, and I think that I'm getting a little tired. It's a lot of narrating and reading, and my throat is a little chappy. So I'm going to stop here. That was really cool. I don't know if it's any fun at all to watch. It's very theater of the mind sort of stuff. You have to really imagine what's going on. But hey, if you want to try this for yourself with ChatGPT, it's totally free. You just need to play around with a prompt, and you can make yourself a narrative experience. You can do anything you want. You want to live in the Middle Ages? Go ahead. You want to fight in World War II? Go nuts. You want to establish a new colony for yourself during the colonial period in North America or South America, the Bahamas, the Caribbean? You can do that too. All you need to do is just tell ChatGPT to play some roles for you, and you play your own. And you're good to go. I had a blast, really. So I'm going to set it back here, and I mean, the world is your oyster with ChatGPT, it seems. So have fun. Happy 4th, everybody. Enjoy your independence with the fireworks and parades, drinking, making merry, and having good food. And I'll see everybody after the holiday. Bye.